Hello, welcome to Look East.
In the programme tonight, the top designer helping to regenerate Lowestoft with the help of a 24-hour arts festival. And for Wayne Hemingway, there's no shortage of ambition.
I'll keep saying to everybody, is it genuinely visionary? You know, is it generous, and is it brave? It's brave places that end up, you know, making a noise, and Lowestoft needs to start making a noise so that people feel proud to be there.
Graduating in gaming, the university tapping into a £4 billion industry.
Our best before labels pass their sell-by date. We speak to the experts.
From England, Chantal Camera!
And Chantal, the champion. Another great night for the boxer from Northampton.
First tonight, ambitious plans for a 24-hour arts festival on the beach in Lowestoft as part of a regeneration of the town.
The festival is the brainchild of this man, Wayne Hemingway, a designer who's already been called in to help other seaside towns. Last week, Lowestoft found itself at the wrong end of a National League table on social mobility. Experts said much more needs to be done on education and transport. So, could a major festival be part of the answer? A question for Mr. Hemingway after this from Ian Barmer.
Midsummer 2019 and the First Light Festival could bring 20,000 people to the South Beach in Lowestoft. It's being billed as a must-visit event. 24 hours of arts and music on the seafront, including an East Coast sunrise.
The main thing is to use this incredible natural canvas as the background for the festival. The whole thing is based around 24 hours, the cycles of the tide, watching the beach get bigger and smaller as the tide comes in, and crucially watching the sun come up.
Lowestoft already attracts 1.2 million tourist visits every year, but 60% of people come from within a 20-mile radius. First Light could broaden Lowestoft's appeal to a wider area and increase the annual tourist spend from £70 million to £200 million.
Lowestoft has a good heritage of tourism, a good reputation for tourism. We want to build on that and make the First Light Festival something which can attract a lot of people in here because we've got a fantastic beach area and we want to utilise that to make the best of the festival.
Designer Wayne Hemingway has been brought on board. He's already been involved in seaside regeneration projects around the UK and believes First Light could be the start of something big in Lowestoft.
There will be spectacle, there will be specially commissioned music, there will be classical music, there will be contemporary music, there will be fire structures, there will be drama, and we'll be setting it all on this remarkable open space.
The initial plan is for 2 festivals in 2019 and 2020. An application for £1 million of funding has been made to the Arts Council. Ian Barmer, BBC Look East.
And earlier this evening I spoke to Wayne Hemingway about the festival, and he told me that it's all about giving Lowestoft a unique brand.
If we're going to do an event, if we're going to do a festival, it must be impactful and not just something that's happened somewhere else, and not, you know, there's too many places doing the same kind of events. And this is totally bespoke, and it comes from the DNA of Lowestoft. You know, the idea of, you know, it's the most easterly point of Britain where the sun first hits the coast. You know, that's a major claim. That leads to all sorts of thinking and all the artistic vision around that, from the music, the spoken word, the food, the science that goes with it. That gives you a narrative and a raison d'etre for having a festival.
I can see that it would be a great event and bring lots of people in and create a brand, but looking at Lowestoft and the deprivation and the low social mobility in the town, what more can be done to actually help year-round those young people who might be struggling to get on?
Well, we just have to, as a town, has to keep doing unusual things that are just not like anywhere else, no matter how small or how large they are. Margate's a great example of that. You know, that was, in terms of its deprivation levels, was considerably less than Lowestoft, and in the last 6 or 7 years it's just seen a resurgence in its fortunes, and that's been done by just everything that town has done has seemed to be kind of being brave. It's brave places that end up, making a noise, and Lowestoft needs to start making a noise so that people feel proud to be there.
You've talked in the past about using the pioneering young people of Lowestoft. How important is it to focus on those young people, all of whom won't have known the town as anything other than it is now?
I grew up at a time, like I'm 56 years old, I grew up at a time where it was, if you knew that if you rolled up your sleeves, if you put a bit of elbow grease on, you'd probably do better than your parents. A bit of hard work will do that. Well, that's not the case now. If you've got the bank of mum and dad to help you, then you've got a chance. And this inequality, we need to end it. So we've got to empower young people, and we'll make sure that through all the things that we're doing, it's not just a load of old people who are delivering. We will make sure that young people are part of everything. If it means me dragging them, kicking and screaming, we'll make sure that young people are part of this.
You talk about being brave. Do you get the sense that those in Lowestoft and Waveney are feeling brave about this?
We're in a lucky situation at Hemingway Design that we get chances to work wherever we want to work. And I can't tell you how excited our team have been with the response from Lowestoft and the wider area. We started to call some just meetings of creative minds, and the people that have turned up are brilliant, in short. Something is stirring in Lowestoft right now.
Wayne Hemingway, thank you very much.
Pleasure.
So something is stirring. The hope is the festival will help to regenerate the area around Lowestoft. According to a recent report, it's a town with one of the lowest levels of social mobility in the country. Let's talk a bit more about that with our political correspondent Andrew Sinclair, who's in Bury St Edmunds. Andrew.
Yes, I'm in Bury St Edmunds tonight because the BBC Brexit panel is meeting. Big week for Brexit, and we'll hear from the panel later on this week. But to some people, there's actually quite a connection between Brexit and social mobility, because if you look at the areas which have very low social mobility, places like Lowestoft, Great Yarmouth, Tendring, there was a very strong Brexit vote. Now, over the weekend, the chair of the government's Social Mobility Commission resigned, accusing the government of letting down people who voted for Brexit. Alan Milburn believes that many people in poor areas voted for Brexit because they thought it would make themselves and their communities, it'll give them a better way of life. Now, it's true that once we've left, there will be more money available for public services and regeneration, but Alan Milburn and the rest of his team who've also resigned are saying to the government, look, don't wait for Brexit. People are looking for movement on social mobility now.
And actually, one of his team who also resigned is the former Norfolk MP, Baroness Shepherd.
Yes, Gillian Shepherd, former Education Secretary, very big on social mobility. We're speaking to her only the other day about this issue. Now, she's not giving any interviews today. All she'll say is that she feels that now was the right time to resign. Reading between the lines, I think she doesn't want to embarrass the Prime Minister, but I think that she's frustrated that the government is spending so much time on Brexit, it has no time to spend on other issues like social mobility. Now, the government says, look, we're doing all we can, we're trying to raise education standards, we're raising the minimum wage, but there are other people, possibly like Baroness Shepherd, who think more could be done.
Andrew, thank you very much.
Senior Adam Brooks